Value-added services started as a result of my own vision and mission that if you make your passion your business, you'll never work a day in your life. And it is true that I would have had at that time a good amount of experience under my belt, so to speak, having had the opportunity in the airline industry, in the airport business, later on in the social services sector, then moving on into the private health services, and finally in the public sector. So I would have looked across all of those opportunities and seeing what are those things that I was really passionate about. And some of those include forging partnership and alliances for development, resource mobilization, grant writing, event management with a spin towards protocol and logistics, service standards and training within that context, music and entertainment, how it is that you engage and motivate youth, social and community for development purposes. At the time, I started as a briefcase business with Daniel, my assistant, taking the lead as the administrative support that helped me to be able to access the kind of contracts that I had at the time with entities that supported social service development in communities, and individual companies and organizations that contracted our services to do training in areas such as event management, and also to engage your staff in terms of staff improvement for productivity. And in the communities, in the inner city communities especially, we engage youth in empowerment programs, but creatively utilizing music and the arts. And in the rural communities now we use sports and agriculture for youth empowerment and development. Now, of course, before long I recognized that I would have had to separate the business, the core business, from that which was more social entrepreneurship. And against that background, we established the Value-Added Services Foundation. So we have the Value-Added Services Limited and Value-Added Services Foundation. Both organizations working with one mandate, really to add value to any service that is provided across the gamut of the different sectors that we have. The challenge for most entrepreneurs, especially small and medium-sized business, is the inability to get the word out, especially to mass media. It is true that by virtue of networking and individual connections, you do get your word out, and it's also true that when it is that you do what you do and you do it well, that work speaks for itself. But those two principles will take you so far and no further. I've always believed it is very important to be able to get the word out to as many people as many times as possible. And so any opportunity that I would have value-added services engage the minds and thoughts of Jamaica and Jamaicans, and in this age of technology, the region and the world, I would take that with open arms, because I believe that the value that we add is significant to, and will be significant to, any individual, community, organization, company, public or private. And it is important that an organization like Value-Added Services really gets as wide a reach as possible for improved productivity, improved service standards, and at the end of the day, assisting persons at the bottom rung of the socioeconomic ladder and also in the middle and at the top. My ideal advertising campaign should be set in the philosophy or in the formula that I use for myself. Innovation plus creativity equals relevance and success. Because if you're not innovative and you're not creative, then you are not going to be relevant. And if you are not relevant, then success is going to elude you. So any kind of advertising campaign that would come towards and for the building up and carrying the message of value-added services really ought to represent that formula of innovation and creativity. In any advertising campaign of this nature, there may be a competition, and that's fine. But of course, because of our track record in terms of what it is that we offer, because of the team that makes up value-added services, there is no doubt that a vote for value-added services would certainly be a vote for development, community development, organizational development, increased productivity. A vote for value-added services would really cause not only development and growth for the business value-added services, but for those that we set out to serve.